This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Thursday, the 27th day of August in the year 2020. I'm Gordon Mosley. Here's what we're tracking tonight. Cuban national Yuri Garcia and his Guyanese wife Atika Ishmael were taken before two courts this morning to face conspiracy to commit a felony charges. Those charges are related to their operation of the Accelerated Financial Capital Company. The two were arrested last weekend after the Attorney General Anil Nandlal announced the launch of a multi-agency investigation into allegations that several persons were allegedly defrauded of millions of dollars after investing the money in the company expecting hefty returns. The couple first appeared at the Sparendam Magistrates Court, where they were slapped with 6 conspiracy charges, amounting to just over $1.2 million. The magistrate at that court refused to grant them bail on the 6 charges. Moments later, they were ushered to the Vigilance Magistrates Court to face an additional 13 charges, which are all related to conspiracy to commit a felony. Those conspiracy charges amounted to more than $24 million, and bail was granted in the sum of $300,000 on each of the 13 charges. However, because of the other court refusing bail, the couple was ushered off to prison, where they will remain on remand. The two are being represented by attorneys Glenn Hanneman and Dexter Todd. The attorneys have indicated that they intend to move to the High Court to seek bail and the possible discharge of the charges, which they believe were badly applied. The lawyers are of the view that the accusations against the two are matters for a civil court proceeding and not a criminal court.
So really and truly, we are faced with a situation in which the parties who are placed before the court are placed before the court for a criminal matter that should be dealt with in a civil arrangement, as it is invited through the contract.
The husband and wife have maintained their innocence, and the company they manage has indicated that there was no Ponzi scheme being operated. Over 100 persons gathered outside the Vigilance Courthouse this morning in support of the couple, demanding that they be set free. More on that story on the other side of the break. Stay with us.
Hello, my name is Clyde De Haas, and I am the Managing Director of Unicomer Guyana Inc. The COVID-19 pandemic has impacted us all, but I promise you, we will get through it together. Shopping in this new environment could be daunting. However, we have fine-tuned our protocols to ensure we have a safe and comfortable environment for our staff and customers. Our store teams are observing the 6-20-100 protocol, that is 6 feet social distancing, washing hands for 20 seconds, and ensuring every day their body temperatures are below 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Additionally, all staff and customers are required to wear face masks when inside our stores. We are sanitizing all frequently touched areas, including door handles and counters, several times a day. Our service technicians and delivery team members will utilize full PPE when visiting your home. All these measures are to ensure we minimize any risks to you or to our staff. You can also shop with us via telesales or online at shopcoach.com. We are well prepared and ready to help you find the products you need in the safest way possible.
Spend $3,000 in fuel at Falls Gas Station between August 3rd and September 30th and get a chance to win over 100 weekly prizes, or $3,000 in our recently renovated supermarket and you can win weekly prizes and one of 2 great food hampers in our summer promotion. At Falls, we provide a safe environment for you to shop, and you can choose from a wide range of products at unbeatable prices too, along with excellent service, of course. So shop now at Falls and make this a summer to remember.
GBTI is your Guyanese bank, a bank that understands every customer's unique needs, opportunities, challenges, and financial concerns. At GBTI, we see you for you. Whether you're buying a new home or car, planning your next vacation or retirement, saving for your child's future, or whether you're ready to take that bold step of investing in your dream business idea, we are with you every step of the way. We hear your stories and watch you focus on your dreams as we share your aspirations. We are more than just banking. We are a family. We are part of your community. Our commitment extends way beyond the walls of our branches and is demonstrated every day in the opportunities we provide to our individual and business customers. The support, time, and commitment we give back to communities across Guyana to help improve the lives of our Guyanese families. Because we see Guyana through your eyes.
New to online learning? You're probably wondering what it's like. Our online platform creates an engaging learning experience. Using any device, you can be a part of amazing class discussions, collaborate with others, and have access to virtual learning software with the help of our experienced tutors. With our multiple payment methods, you will never have to leave home. Find out how tech can allow you to learn anything, anywhere, at any time.
Welcome back. More than 100 persons gathered outside the Vigilance Magistrates Court this morning in support of the Cuban businessman Yuri Garcia and his Guyanese wife, Atika Ishmael, who have been charged for financial fraud related to a suspected Ponzi scheme. While the couple was ushered into the compound to await their court appearance, the large crowd raised their voices in support and picketed against the decision to file charges against the two. Many of those gathered said the two were being wrongly accused and should not face charges for operating their financial company in Guyana, which promised persons who made cash investments that they will get up to 3 times the amount of the investments in return. Some of the protesters said they had invested in the company and got their returns as promised. They explained that money from the investments helped them to survive after losing their jobs in the past months.
ACF helped a lot of people. And when people didn't have anything to eat, ACF backed them up. So we back in ACF all the way.
During the pandemic, Yuri make plenty people, keep people alive. He was the man that people get to eat and live. Nobody else. Another like the man up, let the man come and give you license that you're going to back again. And people can start live together again.
While the Attorney General Anil Nandlal has indicated that over 17,000 persons were affected, under 50 persons reportedly provided statements to the police, and all of those statements were not against the operations of the company. Some of the protesters said Nandlal and the recently elected PPP government needs to be mindful of their support, since they could stand to lose 17,000 votes in the next elections because of the charges. Other protesters accused the government of going after the couple for no reason and demanded that they are allowed to continue their business operations. Last week, the Attorney General announced a multi-agency investigation into allegations that the couple was operating a Ponzi scheme in the country that was flouting several local financial laws, including laws against money laundering. He said it was necessary to investigate the claims against the company, Accelerated Capital, after he received complaints from some persons who wanted their investment back. The husband and wife pair who operated the company were arrested and held in custody for several days before their court appearance today. In a statement earlier this week, the company offered to give the investors with complaints their money back, while also requesting that it be granted all required license to operate fully in financial trading. Let's tell you now that the Minister of Labor, Joseph Hamilton, has told officials of the Exxon company that his ministry will be pushing to ensure there is equal pay for local workers in the oil and gas sector, and they will be allowed to join a union. Hamilton met on Wednesday with the president of Exxon Mobil Guyana, Alistair Rutledge, and expressed concern about complaints that have been received at the Labor Department about local workers not being paid the same as foreign workers, although they were doing the same job.
Workers must be paid equally for equal jobs, and I have indicated to Exxon that there are allegations in the industry that expatriate employees are being paid presently more than Guyanese employees, in my view.
And although much of the hiring for Exxon Mobil and its operations in Guyana is done by subcontractors, the labor minister said he believes the company has an obligation and responsibility to ensure the subcontractors and contractors follow the principle of equal job, equal pay.
They have to facilitate the employees to be unionized if they want to be unionized, to join unions if they want to join unions, or if they just want to have workers' representative organization within the company, so that their interests can be represented to the company.
More than half of Exxon's current workforce are Guyanese nationals. Last year, there was a call by veteran trade unionist Lincoln Lewis for workers in the oil and gas sector to start looking at joining a trade union. He said he has received complaints and concern from many of the workers in the past few years. The new labor minister has indicated that he believes it would be best for workers to have a representative body to address their concerns, rather than to be addressing those concerns with their managers in the same oil sector. Let's tell you now that the Exxon Mobil company has found itself trying to patch up its position on the Payara well development negotiations, following a statement by its new president, Alistair Rutledge. During a briefing with select media houses yesterday, Mr. Rutledge said his company remains committed to its oil development plans in Guyana. But on the issue of the development of the Payara oil field, the company was willing to look at other options if the agreement for the development of the area is not favorable to the company.
The Guyana portfolio is one of the better opportunities for us in the Exxon Mobil portfolio. It's not the only one, and indeed, if we don't get the agreement as we're looking for in Payara, the investment money will go elsewhere in Exxon Mobil's portfolio.
But hours later, the company issued a clarification of the remarks made by its new president. In that statement, Exxon sought to explain that Mr. Rutledge's statements were taken out of context. The company now claims that he was referring to the impact that further delays could have amidst the current weak oil market due to the global pandemic that has threatened and tightened available funding for projects. The company said it will continue to work closely with the government to develop the country's resources for the long-term benefit of the people of Guyana, and Rutledge released another statement.
Exxon Mobil and our industry are facing unprecedented market challenges. We are fully committed to Guyana, have been here for decades despite multiple risks, and stayed when other companies left. We have and will continue to work closely with the government of Guyana to develop the country's resources for the long-term benefit of the people of Guyana. We strive to be transparent and are working to progress positive development in the best interests of all stakeholders.
The Guyana government has set up a review panel to look at the Payara project before any agreement is finalized. Exxon has been pushing for the project to be given the green light and has highlighted that the timely approval of the Payara project and others will ensure the local workforce and the utilization of local suppliers will continue to grow. Vice President Bara Jagdeo, who's overlooking the oil sector, has repeatedly stated that the company must play a greater role in the development of local capacity for the sector. He said the PP Civic administration will push for more transparency in the way the company operates. Payara is Exxon's third development project in Guyana. Let's tell you now that the General Secretary of the APNU and presumptive leader of the opposition, Joe Harmon, has written to the United Nations, the OAS, the Commonwealth, and a number of other international organizations and countries about the recently concluded elections in Guyana. In the letter, Mr. Harmon said that based on the vast amount of evidence and findings of the month-long recount process which CARICOM oversaw, the APNU-AFC coalition believes and intends to prove that the elections lacked credibility and legitimacy. Harmon has dispatched a dossier to the international organizations and the foreign governments, detailing what he explained are the thousands of cases of fraud, voter impersonation, irregularities, abnormalities, and discrepancies which were uncovered during the recount. He also pointed out that the conclusion of the Chief Elections Officer and the coalition's own analysis showed that the irregularities are materially sufficient to vitiate the elections on the grounds of widespread fraud. Mr. Harman made it clear that the coalition regards the PPP civic administration as illegitimate and fraudulent and not democratically elected. He indicated that 2 election petitions will be filed challenging the declaration made by the Elections Commission. The incoming opposition leader also told the international officials that there is a current campaign of state terror and intimidation and political persecution by the government, pointing to widespread dismissals in the public service. He also expressed concern about the independence of the police force, the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions, and other state agencies. Harman believes there is a clear attempt to target officials and supporters of the APNU-AFC, and the vindictive witch hunt is on the way. Many of the organizations and countries that Mr. Harman has written had issued a flurry of statements pressing the APNU-AFC government to concede the elections and accept the results from the recount. News source understands that the 2 election petition cases are to be filed on Monday. The opening of the 12th Parliament is set for next Tuesday at the Arthur Chung Convention Center, where all parliamentary sittings will be held because of COVID-19 concerns. President Irfan Ali is set to address the new parliament just after the swearing-in of new members and the selection of a speaker. The PPP is expected to nominate and support its candidate Sanjeev Tatadin as the new Speaker of the National Assembly. Under the Constitution of Guyana, a deputy speaker will come from the opposition side of the House. The formal selection of Joe Harman as the leader of the opposition is also expected to be made at the first sitting. Workers from the Parliament's office were busy today getting set for the opening and at least 2 additional sittings of the National Assembly next week. Once the new Parliament is installed, there is expected to be an additional sitting for the budget presentation. The national budget is expected to be presented at the Thursday sitting. With no finance minister appointed as yet, and that portfolio coming under the President's office, it is expected that Vice President Bara Jagdeo will be making the budget presentation. The National Assembly has not had a sitting in over a year. While the former chairperson of the Working People's Alliance, Tabitha Sarah Bohali, will be taking up the parliamentary seat that has already been allocated to her as part of the APNU-AFC coalition, but she will be doing so as an independent member of the coalition. The former public service minister resigned from the Working People's Alliance earlier this week after the party pulled out of the APNU, which is the majority partner in the APNU-AFC coalition. Although submitting Sarah Bohali's name among its 4 nominees for Parliament, the Working People's Alliance still wanted to have the final say on who should be heading into the National Assembly to take up the parliamentary seat. APNU chairman and PNC leader David Granger selected Sarah Bohali for the post, indicating his strong support for her. In withdrawing from the APNU, the WPA requested that the names of its members selected to serve in the National Assembly and on the Regional Council be withdrawn also. But with the party out of the coalition, Sarah Bohali got out of the party. In a statement to News Source today, Ms. Sarah Bohali said her name was already submitted and gazetted when the WPA pulled out of the coalition. She explained that with the party's withdrawal, she was faced with a decision of whether she serves the people in this time or just turn her back and walk away. She said it was that choice that cemented her decision to resign from the Working People's Alliance and serve as an independent in the coalition as part of its parliamentary team. In a statement today, the Working People's Alliance said it regrets Sarah Bohali's decision to resign from the party, but it is proud that it was the party that took a bold step in promoting her to high office. The party said she will be an asset to the new generation of national leaders going forward. The number of deaths from coronavirus in Guyana climbed by 1 today to 32, as the country also recorded 47 new cases. The latest COVID-19 fatality has been identified as a 52-year-old man who was a patient in the COVID-19 intensive care unit of the Georgetown Hospital. He reportedly suffered from other ailments. The 47 new cases that were recorded today have taken the total number of new cases in the past 5 days to 215. Those 250 new cases in the past 5 days came from 750 completed tests during the same period. The Ministry of Health has been ramping up testing all across the country and has indicated that the increased testing is responsible for the increase in cases. The majority of those who tested positive do not have any symptoms, news source understands. The total number of active cases currently stands at 482, with 380 of those persons in home isolation. The Minister of Health, Dr. Frank Anthony, today toured the recently commissioned Infectious Diseases Hospital at Lilienthal, which the government intends to use as an isolation facility, as the hospitals are being stretched thin with the number of rising cases.
New to online learning? You're probably wondering what it's like. Our online platform creates an engaging learning experience. Using any device, you can be a part of amazing class discussions, collaborate with others, and have access to virtual learning software with the help of our experienced tutors. With our multiple payment methods, you will never have to leave home. Find out how tech can allow you to learn anything, anywhere, at any time.
Spend $3,000 in fuel at Falls Gas Station between August 3rd and September 30th and get a chance to win over 100 weekly prizes, or $3,000 in our recently renovated supermarket and you can win weekly prizes and one of 2 great food hampers in our summer promotion. At Falls, we provide a safe environment for you to shop, and you can choose from a wide range of products at unbeatable prices too, along with excellent service, of course. So shop now at Falls and make this a summer to remember.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right. Walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
They've made a positive impact on the heavy-duty transportation industry in Guyana since they've arrived. Guyanese are amazed at their power, durability, efficiency, and superior handling capabilities. These are brand new trucks, manufactured in partnership with German, Italian, and French companies. They have a powerful reputation for operating under very adverse Guyanese conditions and come with full after-sales service and spare parts. They're the most sought-after trucks today, with over 500 units in Guyana, and they're available in over 100 countries, including South America and the Caribbean. Be smart. Buy brand new ST Howa trucks today. Call 608-4998 and arrange for an inspection at ST Truck Guyana Incorporated, Block B, Public Road, Covenant, East Bank, Demerara.
Across the region right now, Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Timothy Harris, says the government expects a 188 million Eastern Caribbean dollars fallout in revenue over the first 6 months of the year, as compared to the same period last year, due to the impact of coronavirus. He said the virus has disrupted lives across St. Kitts and Nevis. Harris said the strategy has been to contain the economic recession and avoid loss of lives and restore the country to pre-COVID-19 levels of economic activity, followed by expanding growth rates. He said the government is proud of the discretionary policy actions that they have employed, and they have not introduced any new taxes over the past 5 years. He said that his administration, which was recently re-elected, has been able to reduce the cost of servicing the public debt, freeing up funds which are now being used for building roads. He also told the nation that apart from the United States and Canada, the per capita income for St. Kitts and Nevis ranks 3rd among sovereign states of the Western Hemisphere. Argentina has for the first time registered more than 10,000 new daily coronavirus cases since the pandemic began. The health authorities said on Wednesday that the number of infections registered in the past 24 hours was 10,550, up from 8,871 on Tuesday. It has not been a good week for Argentina, which on Monday had its highest daily death toll, with 381 COVID-related fatalities. A strict lockdown imposed early on in the pandemic kept the number of cases relatively low in Argentina for several months, especially compared with its neighbor Brazil, but its infection curve is now rising steeply. The government said it would announce in the next 48 hours what measures it will be taking to curb the new spike. And finally tonight, international news. At least 4 persons have been killed by falling trees as Hurricane Laura battered the U.S. state of Louisiana. Winds of up to 155 miles per hour caused severe damage with power cuts to more than 500,000 homes and a chemical fire from an industrial plant. But the feared 20-foot storm surge was avoided as the hurricane, which is the state's biggest, tracked further east. Laura has now been downgraded to a tropical storm as it heads to the Arkansas border. President Donald Trump was briefed at the Federal Emergency Management Agency in Washington and said he would go to the area this coming weekend. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting.